Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Mr. Fitness, the body transformation specialist. And in today's live, we're going to do something a little bit different. So unfortunately, we had the person that we were supposed to have on today that was going to be sharing her weight loss story. Unfortunately, she had to cancel. But as they say in show business, the show must go on. So if you were on last week's live, then you probably heard me say that we were going, or I was going to be doing some more educational, informational lives along with the lives that I'm doing currently with the weight loss lives. So today is going to be the start of that. And today's topic, although some might think is a little boring, I think it's pretty crucial that you do this if you want to lose weight faster. So you probably see this water bottle sitting next to me, and no, this is not a Poland Spring commercial. Today's topic is going to be about drinking more water and losing weight. So if I asked you, you're watching this live right now, if I asked you how much water do you drink, and do you think you drink enough water? Now, right now, it's 1 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm not sure about what time it is wherever you're at, but it's 1 o'clock on the East Coast right now. And think about where you're at and ask yourself, do you think you've drank enough water today to meet your needs? The answer that I kind of find with a lot of people that I come in contact with is no. And a lot of people don't realize how this thing right here is a huge thing when it comes to losing weight. So today we're going to talk about how to utilize water to help you lose weight faster. And guys, if you have any questions during today's live, feel free to go ahead and bring me those questions. Go ahead and put those questions in the comments. Even if it doesn't have to do with today's topic, I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can about today's topic and other topics. And if your question's good enough, maybe I'll add it into another video in the future. So before we get to today's video, if you've missed any of the past episodes of Weight Loss Warriors and you'd like to get caught up, head on over to YouTube after this live. My YouTube channel is Mr. Fitness. I'm sorry, that's not my YouTube channel. That's my Instagram page. My YouTube channel is fitnessmotivation4u2. That's fitness motivation, the number 4, the letter U, the number 2. Also, again, like I said, if you have any topic ideas that you'd like me to cover in one of these lives, you can go ahead and DM me, or you can leave it down below in the comments. Also, if you've got a weight loss story that you'd like to share and you'd like to do it here on a future episode of Weight Loss Warriors, you go ahead and DM me if you're watching this live. I am going to transfer this into a YouTube video, and I'm going to be referencing 2 articles, so you'll see me kind of looking at my computer and looking back, so I can, grab the information that I'm going to be referencing for today's video. So I will put those 2 articles up on the YouTube video, so you can go ahead and check out those articles as well. So without any further ado, let's get into the 2 topics in today's, or the 2 articles in today's topic of drinking more water for faster weight loss. So the first article I want to talk about is from Medical News Today, pretty reputable site on everything related to medicine. And the reason why I picked this topic is because it's something that a lot of the people that I come in contact with have trouble with. They don't do enough of. And maybe because, they say that the earth is made up of 70 to 80% water, that, just that simple fact is that's not something that we oftentimes think of. So today I want to kind of shed some light on the importance of drinking more water to help you lose more weight and lose weight faster, make it easier for you to lose weight. So this article is titled "The 15 Benefits of Drinking More Water," and some of these I didn't even know myself. Like, I actually learned some things from reading these articles, so I'm sure you guys will also learn some things as well. So one of the things it says is adult humans, our bodies are made up of 60% water, and it also says that our bloodstream is made up of 90% water. That part about the bloodstream was something that I was unaware of, but that alone should show you how important it is to drink more water, just going from a standpoint of your body is primarily made up of water. And one of the things I hear oftentimes with people is, if I drink too much water, or if I start drinking more water, won't I retain water? And it's actually the quite opposite. It's similar to the way your body slows down its metabolism when you don't eat enough. It's a compensation mechanism, and it's for survival that your body has. So when you drink more water, your body feels as though it can let go of any excess. So you normally won't hold more water when you drink more water. Now, there are certain medical conditions that will cause you to hold more water, but you're not going to hold more water simply because you're drinking more water. It's the opposite. If you don't drink enough water, your body retains water because it feels like you're not going to give it any, or for a long period of time. So you got to drink a lot of water. But this article is going to cover many other things outside of the weight loss part of why it's important to drink water. So then this article goes on to say there is no universally agreed quantity of water that each person should consume. And we've all heard of the drink 8-ounce glasses of water today, and that's a standard, and I honestly don't even know where that standard came from. However, what I do know is that everybody's body is different, and how much water you should drink is completely different than how much water I should drink. And there's a few factors that determines how much water is going to be appropriate for you. One of them is how active you are. So the more active you are, the more water you're going to require. Another one is if you take medications. Certain medications like blood pressure medication work better when properly hydrated or when taken with a lot of water. So if you're not taking a lot of water, certain medications, the ability for them to do their jobs can be hindered. And there's a bunch of other things that we might talk about in this live today. So the next thing the article goes on to talk about is water is essential for the kidneys and other bodily functions. So we understand, or maybe you don't, that the kidneys and the liver are two of your body's filtration systems. So when you're even slightly dehydrated, your body's ability to filter out toxins and a whole bunch of other stuff become greatly impaired. So by drinking more, and there was actually a study that I read probably a few months back that sort of linked, it didn't necessarily link, but you can see there being some causation for if you don't drink enough water and kidney stones. So what the study looked at is a group of people that had kidney stones, and what they found was that group of people were severely dehydrated. Now again, the study didn't necessarily directly link dehydration to kidney stones, but you can kind of see how, again, there could be some causation between the two of not drinking enough water and having kidney stones. So that, that's another important thing that comes out of this article. And the next one that it talks about is when dehydrated, the skin can become more vulnerable to skin disorders and wrinkles. So this one goes really to, I guess, men and women, but I would say women more than men, that, if you want to have youthful looking skin, one of the easiest ways to do it is to make sure you're drinking enough water and you're staying hydrated. Because if you don't, they do say that your skin is one of the most important organs in your body. And when you're dehydrated, that then leads to your skin, looking wrinkled and all that stuff. So if you want to have nice looking skin for a long time, make sure you're drinking enough water. And then the next thing it says is drinking water instead of soda can help you lose weight. And that's really the topic of this live today, is to talk about how drinking more water can help you lose weight faster. And guys, everybody that's joining the live today, I do see you. I thank you for being here. With me, I'm trying to stay on track. So if I'm not acknowledging that you're here, just know that I do see you and I do appreciate you being here. But if you have any questions during the live that you want to ask, make sure you throw them up on the screen and I'll be sure to get to them. It goes on to, let's talk about the 15 benefits of drinking more water. So it lubricates the joints. And one of the things that I can say is that whenever I'm even slightly dehydrated and I try to work out, it does somewhat hinder the quality of my workouts. And one of the things we got to remember is that water also equals oxygen. So the oxygen supply within your body and to your cells and to your muscles, most importantly, is going to go up as you're drinking more water. So staying hydrated simply for the fact that you want to make sure that your joints and your muscles and everything is on the up and up to help give you energy during your workouts is very important. But this goes on to say cartilage found in the joints and the discs of the spine contain around 80% water. That's a big deal. It also goes on to say that long-term dehydration can reduce the joint's shock-absorbing ability, leading to joint pain. And it's one of the things that I notice is that not only is my ability to lift heavy hindered when I'm dehydrated or I don't drink enough water, but I do also notice that I have more joint pain. Fortunately, my joints aren't the way they were when I was 20. So, we want to make sure that we do these things to make sure that we keep our bodies as youthful as possible. So the second one, which is one of the things that I didn't know, one of the 15 benefits of drinking more water is that it forms saliva and mucus. So it goes on to say saliva helps us digest our food and keeps the mouth, nose, and eyes moist. This prevents friction and damage. It says drinking water also keeps the mouth clean. And I know with a lot of people that have tooth issues and tooth decay, there have been some studies that linked dehydration to being I don't want to say cause, but a part or a contributing factor to that. Blood sugar and all that stuff also comes into play, but that's an important factor when you're looking at that. So you want to make sure, just from the standpoint of oral health, that you stay hydrated throughout the course of the day. It also goes on to say, number 3 is it delivers oxygen throughout the body. So as I just said, water, H2O, equals oxygen. So then it talks about blood is more than 90% water, which we already talked about, and blood carries oxygen to different parts of the body. So if you want your body to be properly nourished with nutrients and all that good stuff, you have to make sure that you're properly hydrated. So then the next one, it goes on to say, is it boosts skin and health, the beauty of the skin, which we already talked about. Also talking about it cushions the brain, the spinal cord, and other sensitive tissues. So it goes on to say dehydration can affect brain structure and function. And one of the biggest things when you're even slightly dehydrated is cognitive function going down. So one of the things that I notice when I'm dehydrated is that I don't think as clearly. That whole brain fog that a lot of people feel when they're low on caffeine or, they don't eat enough carbohydrates, whatever the case may be. For a lot of people, they also feel that same thing when they don't drink enough water and when they're dehydrated. So that's another reason, another health benefit of drinking more water. And it also goes on to say it's also involved in the production of hormones and neurotransmitters. And it says prolonged dehydration can lead to the problems with thinking and reasoning, which is one of the big things that I notice. And I'm sure a lot of other people out there notice that when they don't drink enough water. Number 6 is that it regulates body temperature. So it says water is stored in the middle layers of the skin that come to the surface as sweat when the body heats up. As it evaporates, it cools the body in sport. Now, some scientists have suggested that when there is too little water in the body, heat storage increases and the individual is less able to tolerate heat strain. So just from regulating your body temperature, and something we'll talk about in a few minutes, is what's called your BMR, or your basal metabolic rate, and also the thermic effect of water is also important. When you don't drink enough water, your metabolism slows down and a whole bunch of other things. So that's what we're going to get to in a few minutes. It also says that the digestive system depends on water. So everything from bowel movements need water to work properly. And, dehydration, obviously, with constipation, a huge part of constipation is the lack of fluids within the body, or at least part of dehydration. It goes on to say it flushes body waste from your body through urine and feces and all of that stuff. So we're not going to get too graphic into that, but yeah, I think you guys understand where I'm coming from. It also goes on saying it flushes body waste. So no, we already talked about that. So the next one is it helps maintain proper blood pressure. So something I just talked about a few minutes ago is even if you're slightly dehydrated, if you're taking blood pressure medication, one of the things doctors oftentimes will recommend is that you drink enough water with your medication. And that's because a lot of those medications work better when your body is properly hydrated and when taken with enough water. So with this, making sure that if you want to have, if you have blood pressure issues, one way that you can kind of help with those issues is to make sure that you're maintaining proper hydration levels. The next one, it says the airways need it. So when dehydrated, airways are restricted by the body in an effort to minimize water loss. Similar to when your body down-regulates your metabolism when you don't eat enough, when you often skip meals, so, the protective mechanism so you don't waste away and die. Similar to the way your body does that with when you don't drink enough water. It also says that it makes minerals and nutrients accessible. All right, so I see a question come on. How much water should you drink in a day? And that's something that we are going to talk about in a little bit. So stick around. So we are going to definitely cover that on how much water you should drink. And I don't think there's a definitive answer, but we will definitely talk about that. So it also goes on to say that it prevents kidney damage. So one of the things we did talk about is how insufficient water can lead to the formation of kidney stones. So again, kidneys being a huge filtration system for your body, you want to keep your kidneys healthy. Amongst many other things you can do for that, one of the main things is making sure you drink enough water and staying hydrated. One of the last ones that we're going to talk about before we get on to the other article that I want to cover talks about weight loss. So that's really the main topic of today's live. Again, is how you can utilize staying hydrated and drinking more water to lose weight faster. And it is probably one of my secret weapons that I use with the majority of my clients, because I find that the majority of people that come to me for help, it's one of the things that most people don't do. I think it's oftentimes they either forget to do it or they don't truly understand how important it is, so they don't prioritize doing it. So this next article I want to reference is from healthline.com, and another relatively, I don't want to say relatively, but pretty reputable site. And this article is titled How Drinking More Water Can Help You Lose Weight. And maybe I'll put these articles up on my link tree on my page. So if you guys, I already have some blog posts on my blog about drinking more water. But, we're going to cover this right now. And there's three main things that this article talks about. And it talks about drinking water and how it can help you burn more calories. The next one it talks about is how drinking water before meals can help you reduce appetite. And the third one it talks about is how drinking more water is linked to reduced calorie intake and helping you lose weight. So let me go back to the top of the article, where it says that 30 to 59% of adults who try to lose weight do so by increasing their water intake. And it says that many studies show that drinking more water may benefit weight loss as well as weight maintenance. So let's talk about the mechanisms behind it. So in referencing this article and the part of it that talks about drinking water and can make you burn more calories, it goes on to say that most studies listed below look at the effect of drinking at least 17 ounces of water per serving. So this is 17 ounces of water per serving. Now this bottle I have is 50 fluid ounces, and I try to drink 1 or 2 of these a day, and I think maybe Poland Springs need to cut me a check for advertising their water on my live. Maybe I have to reach out to them and let them know. But that's, never mind. Poland Springs, if you're watching, cut me a check. Anyway, it says that drinking water increases the amount of calories you burn, which is known as the resting energy expenditure, or your BMR. And again, BMR is your basal metabolic rate, and it's the amount of calories that your body is burning at rest. So one of the key things I tell a lot of my clients is that make sure the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up is drink 1 to 2 glasses of water. Don't eat any food, but drink water. And what this is going to do is it's going to help to kickstart your metabolism first thing in the morning. The point of the day where most of our metabolisms are going to be fastest is the beginning of the day. So as soon as you wake up, and that's a tip, that if you immediately use that tip, you are going to be much better off in losing weight much faster, is starting the day off with your metabolism being faster by drinking 1 to 2 glasses of water in the morning when you wake up. So then it talks about in adults, resting energy expenditure has been shown to increase by 24 to 30% within 10 minutes of drinking water. So this is what I'm talking about. If you drink water first thing in the morning after going all night without eating and not drinking, within 10 minutes of you waking up, your metabolism has already skyrocketed way beyond where it was prior to actually drinking that water. And it also goes on to say that this lasts for at least 60 minutes. So you can be guaranteed that for the first 60 minutes of your day, your metabolism is going to be much higher just by drinking more water, or by starting your day with drinking more water. Then the article goes on to say, supporting this, one study of overweight and obese children found that a 25% increase in resting expenditure after drinking cold water. Now, this goes back to what I said earlier about the thermic effect of water. And what that simply means is that when you drink cold water, your body has to warm that water up. So when your body does that, your metabolism speeds up as that mechanism to warm that water up to body temperature or room temperature, whatever you want to call it. So just by drinking that 1 to 2 glasses of water a day, and I would kind of lean more towards 2 glasses of water a day, but making sure it's cold water, that only compounds the increase in speed of your metabolism that you're going to gain from doing that first thing in the morning. And this is also not just first thing in the morning you're resting metabolism, but this is after long periods of just being inactive. So if you're sitting on the couch and you're watching TV, you're surfing the internet, and you're not doing much, by drinking water during the course of that period is going to help to speed up your metabolism. So then the article goes on to say a study of overweight women examined the effects of increasing water intake over 34 ounces per day. This is a minimum of 34 ounces a day. And what they found that over a 12-month period, this resulted in an extra 2 kilograms or 4.4 pounds of weight loss. Now, I already know that you heard that and you were like, well, big deal. It's an extra 4.5 pounds of weight loss over the course of the year. But then the article goes on to say, and this is why when you read articles and you read studies, you really got to read everything. And sometimes you got to be able to interpret the information. But then it goes on to say, since these women didn't make any lifestyle changes except drink more water, these results are very impressive. And here's why it's impressive. Because when you take into consideration that was the result just by drinking more water, and when you include all the other lifestyle changes like changing your diet, like increasing the amount of exercise you do, like increasing the amount of sleep you get. And I think one of the topics I'm going to do in the future is why sleep is so important to weight loss. But when you compound all of those things, so you add exercise, diet, proper sleep, and drinking more water and staying hydrated, that only increases. So look at the hydration levels as the fuel to the fire that only increases the effectiveness of everything else. Remember, when you're dehydrated, cognitive function goes down. So if cognitive function goes down, your ability to think and concentrate and do all that stuff, you're probably not going to have. And another thing that goes down is your motivation. And I know a lot of people have experienced this. Is when you're dehydrated, you might not be able to link the two together on the surface, but when you're even slightly dehydrated, your motivation levels decrease. So what that means is you're probably going to be more likely to skip workouts if your motivation is decreased. So that only makes the weight loss harder, because if you're missing workouts, well, that's an important part of you losing weight. So if your motivation is up and you're more motivated to go work out, you're going to work out more. Your energy levels also go down when you're dehydrated. So if you're not dehydrated and your energy levels go up, then you're going to work out more often, you're going to work out harder, and that is going to be a direct impact on you losing more weight. And I can tell you that with my clients, one of the first things I do when we implement that, they automatically, with some of the other strategies of carb cycling and a bunch of other things, when they start to do those things, they automatically start to not only see an automatic decrease in their weight, but they also see an increase in their energy. They see an increase in the quality of their work because, again, of that cognitive function that I was talking about. So all of those things are going to factor into better quality of life and everything, but also a quicker weight loss. So I don't want you to look at that part and say that over a 12-month period, they only lost on average 4.5 pounds and think that, well, why should I focus on drinking more water because it only made a 4.4 pound difference. What I want you to focus on is how the compounding effect of drinking more water and exercising more and eating better and sleeping more all make up the big picture. So then the article goes on to say, additionally, both of these studies indicates that drinking 17 ounces of water results in an extra 23 calories burned. On a yearly basis, that sums up to roughly about 17,000 calories. Then the article goes on to say several other studies have monitored overweight people who drank 1 to 1.5 liters, which equates to 34 or 50 ounces, which I think this is 50.7 fluid ounces. So it's, around the ballpark of water daily for a few weeks. So they monitored these people for a few weeks and they found a significant reduction in body weight, body mass index, waist circumference, and body fat. So these are some of the other things that you're going to notice when you start to drink more water, because if you find that your body's retaining water, as I mentioned earlier, most healthy people, their bodies don't retain water because you drink too much water. Your body oftentimes retains water, and again, this is in most healthy people because there are some health issues that will cause your body to retain water. But speaking just for most healthy people, if you don't drink enough water, that's when you're going to retain water, not when you drink too much. So if you find that you're holding on to a lot of water weight, I can almost guarantee you, again, that if you're healthy, that you probably are not drinking enough water. And what will happen is, soon as you start drinking more water, you will notice that you will feel less bloated and you will start to retain less water. So that's a tip right there, if you're looking to lose weight and you feel bloated often. So then the article also goes on to say, these results may be even more impressive when you drink cold water, which, again, if you missed that part, the thermic effect of water just means that your body has to speed up its metabolism when you drink cold water to help warm the water up. So what that means is that you're going to get an extra boost from not only drinking more water. And what I recommend my clients do is first thing in the morning when you wake up, 1 or 2 glasses of water, and I lean more to the 2, and drink it cold. That's going to give you that kickstart to your metabolism first thing in the morning and get you on the fast track to burning calories early in the day. So then the article goes on to talk about drinking, and thank you guys for the hearts. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, then the article talks about drinking water before meals can reduce appetite. And I think this one is kind of common sense, that if you drink more, you're probably going to eat less. And the key is drink more water. Not drink more coffee, not drink more soda, but drink more water. And what a lot of people don't realize is that oftentimes signs of thirst can be misinterpreted as signs of hunger. So what I tell a lot of my clients is that if they find that they're having a hard time controlling their appetite, that when they feel hungry, what I tell them to do is drink water. Drink about 1 to 2 glasses of water and then wait about 15 to 20 minutes. Oftentimes what they notice is that after 15 to 20 minutes, they no longer feel hungry. So what happens from there is they don't eat. Then I tell them, look, if after drinking that 1 or 2 glasses of water and waiting 15, 20 minutes and you're still hungry, then go ahead and eat something. But oftentimes, again, because your body is made up of 60 to 70% water, and your body can go for a longer period of time without eating than it can go without drinking water, a lot of times when you feel hunger, oftentimes it's just because you're used to eating at a certain time. But a lot of times it's because you just are dehydrated. Your body is craving water. And then once you give your body that water and you kind of sit back and chill, you realize that, you know what, I'm not as hungry as I thought I was. So next time you feel hungry, try that. So let's continue on with the article. The article then says there actually seems to be truth behind this, but almost exclusively in middle-aged and older adults. Now, I'm not saying that, people that are not in my age group, people that are younger than me, won't benefit from this, because I think universally everybody's going to have some weight loss benefit from drinking more water. But the reality is that as you get older, we lose muscle mass, our bodies change, and our metabolisms naturally decrease. So your metabolism is the rate at which your body burns calories for energy. And the slower your metabolism, the less calories you're going to burn. And as we get older, and that's all of us, men, women included, is that your metabolism is going to slow as you as you get older. So I think there's probably more benefit, or at least according to this article, there's more benefit for middle-aged and older adults. But don't think if you're younger and you're watching this video that you also can't benefit on a weight loss perspective from drinking more water, because you can definitely gain some of the other health benefits that we talked about earlier. So it says studies of older adults have shown that drinking water before each meal may increase weight loss by 4.4 pounds over a 12-week period. So, that, again, might not seem like a lot when you're thinking about 3 months and you're only losing about 4.5 pounds. But again, when you add it into the big picture, it can make a big deal. And when this is the main thing that's holding you back from seeing weight loss, this guy right here does make a big difference. It said in one study, middle-aged, overweight, and obese participants who drank water before each meal lost 44% more weight compared to a group that did not drink more water. So that's 44% more weight that one group had, more weight loss that one group had. And again, this is just taken into consideration that the only thing that's changing is that you're drinking more water, nothing else. So that's a pretty big 44% more weight loss just from drinking more water. I think that's pretty impressive. It says it goes on to say another study also showed that drinking water before breakfast, and this is one of the things I just talked about, reduced the amount of calorie consumed during the meal by 13%. So one of the things I encourage a lot of my clients to do is intermittent fasting. And maybe I'll do another live at another time on intermittent fasting and the benefits of that, because I'm sure a lot of you watching this or that will watch the replay on YouTube know about intermittent fasting, but some of you might not. So intermittent fasting is simply where you go periods of time without consuming any nutrients. And again, guys, if you're joining live, I do thank you for being here today and stopping by and sharing some time with me, and being here to get this information. I do see everybody that's popping up on the live, even though, again, I'm not necessarily acknowledging you, unless you have a question that you would like me to answer about today's topic. But I do see you guys. I do appreciate you. So I just didn't want you to think I was ignoring you as you pop up on the live. But, drinking water first thing in the morning before breakfast with intermittent fasting, and I do intermittent fasting a little bit different. So I do have a video on my YouTube channel about intermittent fasting and the one tweak that I've made to it that have helped myself and helped a lot of my clients get much better results than the traditional way of intermittent fasting. So on my page, I have it in my link tree. Maybe I'll put a link to that YouTube video so you don't have to search through my YouTube channel to find that video, and you can just go directly there. And it's the one thing that I do differently in intermittent fasting, along with drinking more water, to help turn up the results that I and my clients get from intermittent fasting. So then the article goes on to say, although this may be beneficial, very beneficial for middle-aged or older people, studies of younger individuals also show impressive reductions in calorie intake when, you're drinking more water. So, the bottom line is drinking more waters before meals is important. And understanding, again, that oftentimes signs of thirst are masked or misinterpreted or disguised as signs of hunger. So I'm going to give you guys the same recommendation that I give my clients. Whenever you feel hungry, start by drinking 1 to 2 glasses of water. Again, I'm going to lean towards the 2 glasses of water. But what I'm going to say is that do that in turn, and also 20 minutes, wait 20 minutes before you eat. And if you still feel hungry, then eat. If not, then chances are you weren't really hungry and your body just wanted water and not food. So Mary_Tobin says, what do you think about putting lemon in water? I definitely have to drink water. Some friends have told me that it might help drinking more because of the flavor. Now, I do, and it's one of the crazy things that I was never a person that liked to drink a lot of water. What a lot of people don't know is that I, back in, I think, 2001, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I was a heavy soda drinker. And I hated drinking water. So I had to then move away from drinking soda because of the sugar content. So I went from soda to diet soda, and probably about 5 years ago I stopped drinking diet soda, but I had to get myself accustomed to drinking more water. So what I did was I started with, before water infusers were popular, I kind of just, would cut up lemons, cut up limes, and cut up fruit and put it in the water. Not necessarily focus so much on the health benefits of adding those things to the water, but on the simple fact that I just did not like the taste of water. So I think that, and what a lot of people don't realize is that lemon, although very acidic in nature, is very alkalizing within the body. So I'm not going to go into alkaline and acidity and all of that stuff. but just know that there are some health benefits to drinking water with lemon, and maybe I'll do another live on that topic specifically, because I know it's a big thing amongst people online and people doing that to lose weight. So I definitely think that whatever's going to help you drink more water is a positive. I would obviously prefer you adding your own lemon to the water and not buying water flavored with lemon, just because you want to avoid any of the extra chemicals that could come along with the store-bought water with lemon. So just definitely cut up your own lemons, drop it in there, drink it throughout the day, and fill it up as you go to the as you throughout your day at your water fountain at work or whatever the case may be. So thank you so much, Mary_Tobin, for the question. Let's see where I was at. Okay, so one of the last things we're going to talk about on this topic of drinking more water and how it can help you lose weight faster is the next subtopic on this article is drinking more water is linked to reduced calorie intake and lower risk of weight gain. So now the article is kind of also talking about how drinking more water is not only going to help you lose weight faster, but it's also going to help you gain weight at a slower pace, which is obviously another great thing. Not only can you do something as simple as drinking more water and lose weight faster, but you can also prevent yourself from gaining weight as fast by, again, doing something as simple as drinking more water. So it says, since water is naturally calorie-free, it is generally linked with reduced calorie intake. And that part obviously makes sense. Again, unless you're adding stuff to your water. So then it goes on to say, this is mainly because you then drink water instead of other beverages, which are often high in calories and sugar. And that was one of the things I did when I first, again, was diagnosed with diabetes. I hated drinking water, so I was a soda caffeine addict. I remember one time I worked at a gym that was in the same parking lot of a Dunkin' Donuts, and they kind of had their drive-through window facing where I would walk from the gym over to the Dunkin' Donuts, and they would see me coming, and they would have my iced coffee ready when I got to the counter. Now, I said, when that started happening, I said, that's when you know you drinking too much. I said, William, you are doing too much right now, because they knew as I was walking up exactly. My order was always the same. I'm a creature of habit. Consistency is the key for me. So, it was the same kind of coffee, same size, same everything. So with me, that was kind of the thing. And when I stopped drinking that, one of the things I did notice is that my energy levels increased and all. So I probably stopped drinking coffee probably about 4 years ago now, and I have just been drinking more water ever since. Feel_my_fear says, do I need to do double the amount of water if I drank a cup of coffee? If I have 12 ounces of water, do I need to drink 24 ounces of water? Now, I'm not going to say necessarily that you need to drink double, but what you do need to understand about caffeine, and this is all caffeine, is that caffeine is a natural diuretic. So what that essentially means is that when you drink caffeine and you take in a lot of sugar, what those substances do is draw water away from your muscle tissue. They draw water away from your thank you so much, guys, for the hearts. I really appreciate it. You guys are making me smile. Thank you so much. But what you got to realize is that when you drink decaffeinated beverages, that's going to increase the amount of water that you need to be taking in. So I'm not going to say feel_my_fears that you necessarily need to drink double, but I would say the more caffeine you drink, the more water you need to take in. And what you also have to realize about caffeine is that caffeine's half-life is very long. So if you drink a cup of coffee at 8 a.m. in the morning, around 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., your body still has about half of that caffeine still circulating in your body. So even if you don't drink any more caffeine, you still got roughly about 50% of that caffeine still in your body. And like me, when I was drinking coffee, I was definitely drinking more than one a day. I was on 3 or 4 medium iced coffees per day. So I was definitely drinking way more than I should be drinking. So I hope that answers your question. That again, I'm not going to tell you that you need to drink double the amount, but you would definitely need to drink more than normal if you don't drink coffee. So I hope that answered your question. Where was I? Then it goes on to say, observational studies have shown that people who drink mostly water have up to a 9% or 200 calorie lower calorie intake on average per day. So if we look and say that, and some of you might know this, some of you might not, that a pound of fat is equated to 3,500 calories, okay? If I take that number just by drinking more water and drinking less of other things, over a 7-day period, that's 1,400 calories. That right there almost equates to a pound loss per week, which goes back to, again, that around 4 pounds a month that we're losing just by drinking more water, okay? So that is a really big deal, that coupled with the fact that you're going to be exercising more and you're going to have more energy and your cognitive function won't be impaired by being dehydrated. You're going to be more enthusiastic. Your motivation is going to go up. So you're going to work out harder. You're going to eat better. You're going to sleep better. And with the increased water and water helping and all of those things, all of that compounded is going to help you lose weight faster. So what I'm not saying is just by doing that, just by drinking more water, you're going to lose weight faster. What I'm saying is that added, and it is true that you are going to lose more weight just by drinking water, but what I'm really referring to is if you do that, plus this, plus this, plus this, more water, more exercise, better diet, and better sleep. Okay, and I really do think I'm going to need to do another live on just sleep because I really don't think people understand sleep and weight loss and health and how the two are intertwined. So that might be another video that I'm going to do. But let's get back to the article. So the article then talks about drinking water may also help prevent long-term weight gain. In general, the average person gains about 3.2 pounds every year. Now, I know that the average person that I meet that is inactive gains way more than that. So this is more talking about honestly, that part is a little bit foreign to me because it says that the average person gains about 3.2 pounds every 4 years. I don't know what average person they're referring to, because if the average person in reality only gained 3.2 pounds every 4 years, I would be out of business. I wouldn't have anybody to train if people were gaining, if that's all they were gaining over the period of 4 years. So I can tell you that the majority of people that I work with gain way more than that in the course of, or at least that I meet with, initially have gained way more than that. So then the article talks about this amount may be reduced by adding 1 cup of water. Now I'm going to recommend that you definitely add more than that, because I know most people that I speak to are so far behind the curve of drinking more water that just 1 cup a day is not going to help you get to where you want to be. And replacing other drinks with water. So obviously if you're drinking more water, as we just, I mean, if you're drinking caffeinated beverages and sodas and stuff like that, you need to drink more water. Again, the water is going to help with a lot of things and flushing things out of your body and all of that good stuff. So that's definitely important. Now, this goes on to say, talk about kids and the importance of making sure that our kids are drinking more water. And I'll just briefly go over that, where it says, it is especially important to encourage children to drink water, as it can help prevent them from becoming overweight and obese. A recent school-based study aimed to reduce obesity rates by encouraging children to drink more water goes on to say that they installed water fountains in 17 schools, and I don't know, I've never known a school like that. I've never known a school when I was growing up that didn't have a water fountain in it. So they installed, when did they install these water fountains in these schools? But anyway, it says that they installed water fountains in 17 schools and provided classroom lessons about water consumption for second and third graders. After one school year, the risk of obesity had reduced by a whopping 31% in the schools where water intake was increased. So that's pretty big, as well as the fact that just by getting these kids to drink more water, their risk of obesity decreased by 31%. So, you know, it's not only important for us as adults to be drinking more water, but it's also important for children to be drinking more water, and teaching your kids at a young age to stay away from these sugary drinks. So then the article goes on and it talks about how much water should you drink. And I know someone asked that question earlier, so I'm just going to thumb back up just to see exactly who asked that question, so I can make sure that they get the credit for that question. I know it's here somewhere. Okay, so Saida A. Harris, if you're still here, I'm about to answer your question on how much water you should drink a day, and the simple answer is, you know, everybody's a little bit different, right? Like, my requirement for water is going to be different than yours, and there's a lot of factors that come into play that determine how much water you should drink. Obviously, if you're on any medications, if you're taking any medications, that's going to be an important factor in how much water you should drink, because obviously you should be drinking more water than somebody that's not taking any medications, or someone that's not taking the same medications that you're taking. So also age related, again, as we get older, our metabolism slow down, and hydration levels and water consumption somewhat work in conjunction with your metabolism to regulate your metabolism and how fast your metabolism is. So as you get a little older, you're probably going to require more. Like if you're 40, you're going to probably require more water than if you're 20, just from a simple standpoint of the body changing as we get older, and your requirements changing from a metabolism standpoint. And because we're talking about weight loss being the main topic of why we want to drink more water, if your metabolism's slowing down, you're going to lose weight slower. So just by drinking more water, that helping to increase your metabolism, that would be a factor. Again, depending on, if you work out, if you exercise more, you're going to be expanding more water. So yeah, you're going to need to drink more water. If you live in climates that are warmer, or you live in an area that's warmer during certain times of the year. That will then factor into how much water you drink, because your body's going to be getting rid of more water through sweat and urination and all that stuff. If you work outside, and you work outside and it's hot, you're probably going to need more water. So there's many factors that determine how much water you need, and I don't think there's any general amount, but I do know that the standard, again, that we've all heard before, is 8-ounce glasses of water per day, which is 64 ounces of water per day, which is what you should be drinking. Now, if you've gone to any gym, you see those guys, and now you see more ladies in the gym walking around with their gallon jugs. I'm all for that, but I'm not necessarily saying that that's how much you need to be drinking, and you need to space it out throughout the course of the day. So, that's kind of my take, but let's kind of look at what the article itself says. It says many health authorities recommend drinking 8-ounce glasses of water per day, which we just talked about, which is about 2 liters. However, this number is completely random. As with so many things, water requirements depend entirely on the individual. For example, people who sweat a lot, which we just talked about, or exercise regularly, which we also talked about, may need more water than those who are not as active. It also says older people and breastfeeding mothers, which is one of the things I didn't know about, need to monitor their water intake more closely. But I would assume if you're a breastfeeding mother and your baby's taking a lot of the nutrients from your body, and so that would also be part of it. Keep in mind that also to get more, you get a lot of water from fruits and vegetables. So getting more water doesn't always necessarily mean eating more. But again, if we're talking about weight loss, we need to manage our calories. So a fruit that I love in the summer, and I can't eat a lot of because I'm a diabetic, is watermelon. Watermelon is heavy in water content, but it's also heavy in sugar. So for me, being a diabetic, I can't eat much of it. But if you don't have any issues with your body regulating blood sugar and stuff like that, maybe you can, eat more stuff like that and get away with it. So that's kind of, to recap on everything on today's topic. Water is important for many different reasons. If we quickly go back and run down the list of the 15 benefits, and like I said, I'm on the YouTube video. I'm going to put up these articles side by side this live, so you guys can kind of see what I see. But number one, it lubricates your joints. Number two, it forms saliva and mucus. It delivers oxygen throughout your body. It boosts skin and health and beauty. It cushions the brain, spinal cord, and other sensitive tissues. Number six, regulates body temperature. Number seven, the digestive system depends on it. Number eight, it flushes body waste. Number 9, it helps maintain blood pressure. Number 10, the airways need it. Number 11, it makes minerals and nutrients accessible. Number 12, it prevents kidney damage. Number 13, it boosts performance during exercise. Number 14, it increases weight loss, which was the main topic of today's live. And number 15, it reduces the chance of hangovers, which we didn't talk about. But if you like to go out and drink and you feel hungover, maybe you should add a little bit more water into your night out of drinking. So we're going to end today's live there. I want to thank everybody for joining me on today's live and being the first ones to experience this new thing. Let me know, guys, if you want me to be doing this more often, these educational, informational lives, along with the Weight Loss Warriors, where we're doing our weight loss interviews. So I got a bunch of topics that I want to bring on here, and I know 1 o'clock wasn't the best time, because I know a lot of people, you guys are out and you're working. So, we got to get the timing right, but I do appreciate everybody that stopped by today and got some of this information. And guys, I promise you, if this is something that you're not doing, if you immediately go out and incorporate more of this into your life, you are going to see much faster weight loss. Before we get out of here, guys, again, if you've missed any of the past episodes of Weight Loss Warriors, and if you're not sure what Weight Loss Warriors is, it's a show that I use to kind of interview people that have seen weight loss success. So go ahead and head on over to my YouTube channel at fitnessmotivation4u2. That's youtube.com/fitnessmotivation4u2. When you get there, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification so you never miss any future uploads. If you would like to share your weight loss story on a future episode of Weight Loss Warriors, go ahead and DM me down below on YouTube. There'll be a description. There'll be a link in the description where you can reach out to me. Go ahead and DM me any topics that you would like for me to cover in these lives. And down below in the description on the YouTube video, if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll also be a link where you can send me your topics. And guys, if you're looking to start a weight loss journey but you don't know what to do, or you're already in a journey but you're not getting results, I would love to help, and I'd love to get you started with a free 30 days to my online fitness and nutritional coaching program. There, I'm going to create your diet. I'm going to teach you how to eat right, and I'm going to be there every step of the way to hold you accountable for getting yourself into the absolute best shape possible. So if you're watching this live, go ahead and DM me and let's talk. But if you're watching this on YouTube, down below in the description, click the 30 days free link, and that'll get you all registered for my program. Other than that, I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you guys for joining me. This is Mr. Fitness, the Body Transformation Specialist, signing off. And as always, where there's a will, there's a way. And I hope you guys have an awesomely great day. Till next time.